What up, welcome. BrandonJaneauShow. As you know, I am Brandon Janeau, and like always on all podcast platforms everywhere. BrandonJaneauShow. Social media platforms. BrandonJaneauShow. um, uh, I'll say social media. Oh, have mercy. Podcast platforms everywhere. BrandonJaneauShow. Uh, Social media platforms: Instagram, Threads, Brandon Facebook, The BrandonJaneauShow. And of course, TikTok, BrandonJaneauShow. Go follow me on all those social media platforms. Yeah, go follow me on all those social media platforms. Um, really, where you go is just a YouTube channel, BrandonJaneauShow YouTube channel. Uh, Go comment. I do comment back. Uh, subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, man. Helping the algorithms with the likes, so please like the vids, the shorts, everything, man. It's Monday. It's the summer. So it's I sports. That's what it is. A lot of things are going on in sports right now. You got basketball. You got a trade that happened today, a three-team trade. You had a crazy seven-team trade out of nowhere that they all linked each other for some freaking reason. I don't know. I'll talk about that. Of course, I'll be doing my NFL predictions today. Is still in the AFC South, and yes, still the Jacksonville Jaguars is the team today that I'll be talking about. Even got some baseball that I want to talk about. But I started off with this. Boxing is here. This weekend is starting a super massive boxing week. Uh, Pretty much throughout the whole goddamn month of July. About damn time we finally got some freaking boxing matches that we actually want to see. Um, you got Taylor and Serrano, Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor this upcoming Friday on Netflix. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see how that looks. Then the following weekend, uh, or is it this weekend too? I don't. Yeah, I think it's Saturday actually, if I'm not mistaken. Um, no, it's this weekend. It's next weekend. Shakur Stevenson is back in the ring. He was taking on Will Zapata. That's happening in I think Saudi Arabia because later on that night is Manny Pacquiao returning to the ring to take on Marcos Barrios. Uh, that's gonna be an interesting goddamn fight. And we close out this month pretty much with Fury, Lord have mercy. Usyk versus Daniel Du Bois for the heavyweight championship, the undisputed heavyweight championship. That is the boxing summer. This is pretty about damn time we got to this. I've been looking forward to seeing some of these fights, and we're finally here. Of course, everybody's talking about what the hell is happening in September. I do not care about September until September gets here. I've told you numerous times I do not care about Crawford and Canelo until the goddamn week happens. Everybody's been giving out their think pieces, think piece this, think piece that. I do not care until those two men step into the damn ring that night. Outside of that, I still don't think the damn match is happening. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm the only person on the planet that's just that goddamn optimistic or just don't trust Canelo Alvarez and freaking Canelo Alvarez's ability to take a damn fight like this. I don't know. Crawford also is a little bit shaky to me. I don't know. Like I said, I will talk about that when that damn fight gets there. That's in September. That's literally what August, no, 2 months away. We'll talk about that fight when it gets here. But until then, this is all I got right now. So, out of all these fights this upcoming week, these next couple weeks, for 3 weeks, we got literally fights everywhere. I'm looking forward to this. About damn time. Um, what is my most intriguing fight of these all these fights, right? And it's Shakur Stevenson and it's a better. Uh, that's my most intriguing fight out of all of them. The reason why it's the most intriguing fight to me is I haven't seen Shakur really box anybody like seriously since oh shit. Oscar Valdez, like the last couple of fights he's actually physically had, like he beat the Asian dude really bad. He beat the hell out of that dude. But then you had uh the um the Edwards fight, the Edward the still fight that he had that he just he didn't really do shit in it. And then you had and then you just had the other fight that he had just recently in like what was it, like March, like yeah, like March that he had. Is in that fight wasn't really anything. And the dude that he fought took like the fight on like a 3 day notice or some shit like that. So he hasn't really fought anybody. It's been in a gym training just for him. It's been a minute, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Shakur Stevenson can actually do against actual real competition. Will Zapata is pretty good. I mean, he's a really good boxer. So this is going to be a pretty intriguing situation. That's why I say it's my most intriguing fight. The fight that I'm more say anticipating is Usyk and Daniel Dubois. I watched the first fight with Usyk and Daniel Dubois. I thought Daniel beat him. To be honest with you, thought Daniel beat him. I think they gave Usyk that fight because they wanted to get Fury and him in the ring together. That's really what I thought. Like Usyk got tagged, he fell, he got I don't say KO, but he got knocked down. He definitely got knocked down in that fight, and they said it wasn't legal. They said he hit him on a belt line. It's like what the fuck? What the fuck was y'all watching? And I watched that on my phone. Like I was like, what the fuck are y'all watching? Like, and it was slippery. The ring, it was outside. It was in an outside stadium, so the ring was slippery. It was just like, what is this? And it was in Ukraine. So it was just a lot of things going on in that fight. It was in the Ukraine, so they of course gave it to Usyk. It was just a really bad look on that fight. And now that Daniel Dubois has had fights since then, and he looked really goddamn good in those fights. I mean, look at how he beat the shit out of Anthony Joshua. That he beat the hell out of Anthony Joshua. And Usyk has had two very the first fight between him and Tyson Fury, it turned around that night round. Like he tagged Fury, and Fury could not recover from that point on. But the second fight they had, Usyk beat the hell out of Fury. It wasn't even close. Like it wasn't even close. Fury just could not touch him. These are two different dudes now. These are two different men in the ring. Usyk is trying to be the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Daniel Dubois probably feels like he got robbed of the first fight. I'm one of those guys that believe he definitely got robbed of the first fight because I watched it and I saw him tag Usyk, and Usyk fucking fell. And they immediately was like, "No, that was illegal." I'm like, "Nigga, what?" I'm sorry. The nigga hit him, bam, and he fell to the ground, and it was nowhere near the belt line, and you called it illegal. I'm like, I didn't. I'm like, I guess I just don't know understand boxing anymore. What the fuck is going on? But that's the most. That is my most anticipated fight. I can't wait to see those two guys get in the ring and go back at each other. Um, the fight that has a lot of hype that I hope lives up to it is, of course, the Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano fight. They've fought 2 times, and every time they've fought, they've had some really great matches. Hopefully, this third fight lives up to the bullet. Now, the second time they fought, it was a bullshit decision. It was a very bullshit decision. Amanda Serrano should have won that fight, but again, there probably would have been a third fight if she would have won that fight because she beat her the first time. So maybe this is why they had to do that. I don't freaking know, but I'm looking forward to that fight this Friday. I think it's gonna be pretty goddamn intriguing to see what happens in that fight. The fight that I have no hype or no anticipation for is clearly the last fight, and that's Pacquiao and Barrios. If Barrios, like I said, if Barrios gets his ass whooped by Pacquiao, that is just embarrassing. I'm sorry. You gonna let a man take damn near 2 years off, come back and whoop your ass like that? Just at 46 years old, you just come back and whoop your ass. That's embarrassing. I'm sorry, bro. Like, and that's embarrassing. That's. I don't even know how you could even. spin it. That is not even a spinning of the narrative situation. You got your ass whooped. Point blank. Period. You just got your ass whooped. So yeah, but boxing is back this summer. About damn time. I know they got some fights coming up in August. Like I said, the Canelo and they got some fights in August. I know like Devin Haney is supposed to fight Brian Norman Jr., who had a crazy knockout the last time he had a fight. Um, I know David Benavidez just announced that he's got a fight coming up this upcoming week, this upcoming month. I mean, not this upcoming month. Later on in the year, he will be back in the ring. So it's gonna be pretty intriguing. Of course, the Canelo and Terrence Crawford fight. So yeah, this is gonna be interesting. This is a pretty interesting summer for boxing, man. Speaking of summer, baseball. The All Star game is next week. All Star game is next week. Home Run Derby is next Monday. Of course, the All Star game is next Tuesday. And this is why my brother Wine always says that he loves the baseball All Star game because the baseball All Star game always leads to home field advantage for whoever wins. So if the NL wins, NL gets home field advantage for the World Series. If the AL wins, AL gets home field advantage for the World Series. And that plays a lot into a lot of things. A lot of people don't realize how big home field advantage can be, especially in baseball. That's a very massive thing. Um, Especially if your pitching does better at home than it does on the road. You know, your bullpen, you show up your bullpen a little bit more. You know, you're not so easily you're not going to let, certain pitchers stay out too long on the road, especially if they get rattled early. They're not going to stay on the road too long. You're going to take them off. So yeah, so home field advantage in a playoff, especially in the World Series, it's a very massive freaking thing. Um, which brings me to the division leaders. Now, like I said, we're getting closer to the All Star game. All Star break will be next week. Um, Division leaders so far in Major League Baseball. AL East. We got the Toronto Blue Jays. Yes, the Yankees have led this division for a very long time, but Toronto now leads about what I think 3 games. I saw it yesterday. It was 3 games up. Toronto Blue Jays are up 3 games over the New York Yankees, which is crazy. I think the Yankees and what's it, the Red Sox? I can't remember who was because they were like kind of all tied. But yeah. But the Blue Jays are leading the AL East. I haven't seen the Blue Jays lead the AL East in a very long time. They're on an 8 game winning streak too, so that's gonna be a pretty intriguing situation. Shout out to Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who's killing in Toronto right now. AL Central leaders is the Detroit Tigers. It's been a very long time since I've said the Detroit Tigers have led the AL Central in freaking baseball. It's been a very long goddamn time. Um, it's been a very long goddamn time. Um, since the Detroit Tigers have led the AL Central, or any team has led the AL Central that isn't the Guardians. I mean, the Twins have kind of been the only other team that have led in the AL Central in the last 3, 4, 5 years. I mean, it's either been the Twins or the Guardians. So the fact that the Tigers are leading the AL Central and by a really good margin right now is pretty goddamn intriguing. So, you know, AL West leader is clearly is the Houston Astros. Astros, no matter what, no matter what it is, they're gonna lead the AL Central. I don't know what it is. It really does feel like the Texas Rangers had that one year where they just were just untouchable. Won the World Series and they haven't done shit since. They haven't done a damn thing since. Um, Yeah, that is nuts. Seattle has had some good season starts, but just couldn't maintain it throughout the year. So yeah, the Astros are leading the AL West, so that's not surprising at all. I'm not surprised at that at all. When we go to the NL East leader is the Philadelphia Phillies. Yeah, Philly at one point even was having a terrible losing streak at one point, and is now leading the NL East. Um, you have the Mets. The Braves had a very slow start to the year. The Mets have had some ups and downs this year. trying to figure out the Juan Soto, how he fits in with the Mets situation. The pitching with the Mets have kind of also been a little bit up and down. So the Phillies sit at the NL East. Congratulations, I guess. NL Central is my Cubs. Oh yeah. NL it's been a long time since I've said my Cubs are leading the NL Central. You have no idea how happy I am. Yeah, you have no clue how happy I am to say the NL Central is led by the Chicago Cubs. That's another division that's kind of felt like it's just been led by one team for a very long time, which is the Milwaukee Brewers. So to see the Chicago Cubs or any team that's not the Milwaukee Brewers leading the NL Central, probably going into All Star Weekend, is pretty goddamn intriguing. Um, and one team that is definitely leading the NL West is the Los Angeles Dodgers. I mean, they got the highest payroll. They're gonna pay everybody. The NL West is pretty much the Dodgers until they decide to not pay everybody. Until then, they got the best baseball player in the freaking league in Shohei Ohtani. Good friggin' luck. I do not know. And now he's pitching again. Oh my god. Now you don't only have to deal with him as a hitter of outfielder. Now you got to deal with him as a pitcher. Congratulations. All that being said, who the freak do I believe can even get to World Series this year? I mean, let's be real. Out of those three teams in the A, do I believe any of these teams can actually get to the World Series this year? For me, if I had to pick a team in the AL that could get to the World Series that is leading the division, it's the Astros. I know it sounds like it's just a cop out answer, but it is the Astros. The reason why I say it's the Astros is because they're the most experienced team. The Toronto Blue Jays have not been in the playoffs a very long time. Detroit, I think, was there last year. I can't remember. I think they were wild card last year, but it's been a long time since the Tigers and the Tigers and the Blue Jays have actually had divisional success and actually been in the playoffs too. I mean, the Blue Jays ain't been in the playoffs since what 20 shit. I don't even want to 2018. Like it's been a long time since the Toronto Blue Jays have been in the playoffs. I mean, since Batista was there, like Jose Batista was there. Like it's like it's been a very long time since the Toronto Blue Jays have been in the playoffs and they had to go through the rebuild stage and all of that to get their team right. But they're finally here. But I do think being in the playoffs for the first time in a very long time is going to have a significant impact on them. Like I said, Detroit has been in the playoffs. I think they were in there last year, but they haven't been a division leader in a very long time. So I don't know if the pressure is going to get to them. Also, I don't know. That is why I'm going with the Houston Astros. I feel like the Houston Astros are the one team that's been in the playoffs. They know what the situation is. They know how to run a gauntlet. It's been a very long time since they've been into a situation where they've been the best team in the AL. The Yankees last year was better than them. Um, and I think some wild card teams. I think some teams in the AL wild card wise is a little bit more intriguing to them. You got the Red Sox, of course. Of course, you still got the Mariners, Seattle Mariners. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, but I just and the Yankees are now in the wild card. So I just feel like the Astros have more experience than the Toronto Blue Jays and the Detroit Tigers. I'm not talking about the other teams. I'm talking about just the division leaders. I'm gonna give it to the Astros to get to the World Series. Same thing with the NL. The NL, I would love to say my Cubs. I would love to say my Cubs will get to the World Series this year. Oh man, I would love to say that, but I'm gonna be honest with myself, and I'm gonna just say I think the Philadelphia Phillies. I think Philadelphia gets to the World Series this year. If I had to pick a divisional winner, I know people sit there and say, "Why not the Dodgers?" The Phillies always have the Dodgers number for some apparent reason. I don't know what it is. Like when they get in the playoffs, it's just like the Phillies always have the Dodgers number for some apparent reason. I love the fact that Clayton Kershaw's having a great resurgent year. He's going to be an All Star this year. He just hit the 3,000 Ks list. Congratulations! But it just feels like the Dodgers are one of those teams that you have to watch very closely because last year everything just played out perfectly for them. But there's been years where they've come into the playoffs and they just couldn't get over the hump. this feels like one of those seasons where it's like, yeah, they kind of like cruising through the year, and it's gonna be a great year for them, and then they're gonna get in the playoffs and they're gonna struggle because they can't get out of this space of just they're really good. Like I expect Shohei, if he's healthy, to dominate what Shohei could dominate, but the moment that they start playing teams that can actually keep their lineup very under wraps, keep them very, you know, keep the score close. You're putting a lot on that bullpen to get it done, and I don't think the Dodgers bullpen is great. Phillies, on the other hand, always have a really good bullpen. They always figure it out. Um, and Bryce Harper is still there, and I think that Bryce Harper is going to have a moment where he just shows up in the playoffs, like he always does. So, yeah, I got the Phillies. Then the Phillies make it. Basketball. There's been some trades, there's been some things moving. Today, like I said, there's a three-team trade. Norman Powell is going from the Clippers to the Heat. John Collins is going from the Utah Jazz to the Clippers. In the Utah Jazz are getting Kevin Love and Kyle Anderson. What do I think of this trade? I like this trade more for Miami than I like it for anybody else. John Collins going to the Clippers is great, but it's like, what the fuck does that really do? I like, yeah, Kawhi Leonard's there, and they got Brook Lopez now, and they got it fixed the bench a little bit. It helps the bench out definitely, especially if it was like something happens to Kawhi Leonard this year. Not hoping it does, but I'm just saying if it happens to Kawhi Leonard again this year, But I think the Clippers have gotten older. They didn't get younger, which is kind of the problem with the Clippers that I feel. Even with the somewhat teams in the West, the Warriors are old, the Lakers are old, the Clippers are old. What the fuck did you do? Like, Houston is still young. OKC is still young. Memphis is somewhat still young. Like, Dallas has a youth movement in Cooper Flag. Outside of that, they're kind of old. But in San Antonio, it's very freaking young. So that's the intriguing situation of the Western Conference. It's very like either you're very young or you're very old. It's not like a balance in the situations in the Western Conference. So I can see if we get to the playoffs, four young teams and then four old teams. I can see it because it's about who's the veterans. And I think at the end of the day, if the Clippers can stay somewhat healthy, then I did. Whereas for the Miami Heat making a move like this, Norman Powell is a starter now. So he helps at least with the ball handling and the defense ability on the in the backcourt with Tyler Hero because Tyler Hero cannot defend. He sucks at defending. He's never been a great defender. He isn't a defender. He's a scorer. Great. But you needed help in the backcourt with that. And also, you now bring in another scorer who can get you at least 20 points. Last year, he had his best year. And Norman Powell also comes from a championship caliber team. No, not the Clippers, the Toronto Raptors. People forget Norman Powell's on that Toronto Raptors team when they won the championship. So it's somewhat of a move that a lot of people probably aren't really thinking about. I like that move. I think Andrew Wiggins, Norman Powell, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, that's a, Jeremy and Jamie I forgot that man's last time. I'm about to fuck that man last name up. That's a pretty good team. Miami's is a pretty good team. Now I don't know if that makes a dent in the Eastern Conference. I mean, you of course it's officially announced that Tyrese Halliburton is not going to be playing next year because of his ACL situation. You have Milwaukee get rid of. By the way, Milwaukee still has not fucking got a point guard. You just let Dame Lillard just walk and didn't get any point guard yet. That shit is just mind-boggling to me. But anyway, do your thing. The Knicks just hired Mike Brown finally, but Atlanta, kind of now feels more like the fourth best team in the East, and that's not saying a lot. I mean, the fourth best team, and I have no faith really in Orlando. I mean, they just signed Pablo Becerro, gave him an extension, which he fucking definitely deserved. But if I'm looking at this situation, I'm saying to myself, Cleveland is one. Tyrese not being there, Tyson and Jason Tatum not also being there for the Boston. None of this shit is gonna make sense until we see all of these teams 100%. But we're not gonna get that next year. So let the best team win. It's like who? Screw that. Let the healthiest team win in the Eastern Conference next year. And whoever the hell that is, congratulations. I do not think you're winning the fucking NBA Finals. I think you're getting your ass swept. It don't matter who comes out the West. I think they're gonna sweep you. I don't give. If it's not Cleveland, you getting your ass. If it's not Cleveland or Detroit, I think Detroit is a team that nobody's talking about that can be very sneaky and get to the Eastern Conference Finals next year because they're the one team that nobody's talking about. The fact that they made it that far last year, they're one of the teams. I don't think Philly's going to be there. I just have no faith in Philly. I think Philly needs to start thinking about trading Joel Embiid. That's just me personally. I think you need to start thinking about trading Joel Embiid. I don't know who the fuck is going to take him with all of his injury history, but I would just trade Joel Embiid. I just say fuck it. Let's just start from scratch. Tyrese Maxey's here. Let this be his team. I have said this since the freaking moment they re-up James Harden and brought James Harden in. I said Tyrese Maxey is the future of this team. Only a dumbass will keep James Harden on their team. Hi Clippers. Hi Clippers. It just doesn't make sense. Anyway, speaking of the Western Conference, three teams have made some massive moves in this offseason. Spurs, Mavs, and Rockets. Rockets, of course, got the biggest name of them all, and that's Kevin Durant. He's officially coming to Houston. He will be playing for the Houston Rockets. You, of course, have the Mavericks getting Kyrie Irving back. I think he should be back at some point in the season. I mean, he's another one who tore his Achilles very late in the year. But you got Anthony Davis, you got Klay Thompson, PJ Washington, and of course, Cooper Flag is also going to be in Dallas. And then, of course, San Antonio with Victor Wembanyama. They have a whole new head coach because Greg Popovich has officially retired. You got Dylan Harper. San Antonio can have literally San Antonio have three straight rookie of the year. That shit is crazy to me. That is nuts. San Antonio can have literally three straight rookie of the years. That sounds absolutely fucking crazy. But they can have literally three straight rookie of the years. That is crazy. Dylan Harper, Victor Wembanyama, Castle. Yeah, like this San Antonio team is not to be just. And then you still got Darren Fox, which nobody remember. Like Darren Fox is still there. So yeah, San Antonio, Dallas, and Houston. But what team do I feel has kind of won the offseason? Now who I think is going to the NBA Finals, because I don't fucking know until the damn ball is tipped. Just who's ahead right now in the offseason. And if you ask me, it's San Antonio. It's San Antonio. I know Houston got Kevin Durant. I know they got this and they got that. They re-upped Fred Van Vliet's contract, and they did this and they got this. Great. San Antonio has the brighter future. Dallas at some point is going to have a conversation with Klay Thompson and Kyrie and Anthony Davis. It may take 2 years. Shit, it might take this year. Who the fuck knows? Um, I think San Antonio is the younger team, and I just trust Victor Wembanyama a little bit more than I trust their stars. I have said this numerous times. I love Kevin Durant, but what the fuck is he? Outside of a score, what is he? What can he bring to your team outside of just putting up 30 points? He can't defend like that. He's never been really a great defender. What are we doing? And then again, like Houston's got an amazing team already that can defend. So you kind of just needed a guy that can put up 30 points. Great. But in the playoffs, who gives a fuck that you can put up like if you can put up 30 points, but nobody else can put up 30 points, that's a problem. That's a massive goddamn problem. I know a lot of people is in there thinking, oh man, you San Antonio, we don't even know what San Antonio is gonna look like or what they're gonna be. Why is everybody so on San Antonio's train? Listen, man, I've been on OKC's train before everybody was on OKC's train. I told you Minnesota was gonna be good at some point before Minnesota really actually became good at some point. I've then told y'all Indiana was gonna be fucking good for a very long fucking time. I've been knowing Indiana was gonna be good. This is not that damn shocking. This is not that damn intriguing. I am not surprised at fucking all. And I told y'all before the season even started, I said I could easily see Cleveland reel off 20 games. So I'm telling y'all now, San Antonio can get to an NBA Finals. I would not be surprised if they make it to the NBA Finals this year. I don't say if they get there. I think San Antonio is going to have a problem with OKC because OKC is just. I think OKC could run it back next year. I just think OKC is the only team that feels more like a team that they still have not really hit their peak yet. And they just won a fucking championship. And I still feel like they haven't hit their peak yet. That's crazy. But if you ask me who's winning the offseason, it's San Antonio. It's not even close. I just feel like, yes, losing Greg Popovich is one thing, and that's a massive, and I mean, goddamn catastrophic situation. But having the guys that they have on that team, that young structure, this could be a good team. Like I said, Darren Fox is somebody that we don't even talk about. Darren Fox is there. Darren Fox has been in the playoffs. He's been in those situations. San Antonio gonna be dangerous this year, bro. And that's something that a lot of people won't say. But I think San Antonio's won the offseason. I know Kevin Durant went to Houston. I get it. Cooper Flag was the number one overall pick. Great. Whoopsie fucking do. San Antonio was the difference. San Antonio is the team that has won the offseason. And I stand on that. I don't give a shit. I stand on it. Speaking of winning the offseason, see, this is the thing about offseason because football is around the corner. Literally next fucking month. I cannot wait. Fuck that. This month. The first preseason game is July 31st. By damn time, I've been waiting for this game. It'll be Chargers versus Detroit Lions. But before I get to that, college football. College football. You see, there's this thing going on where it's like you're trying to fantasize what the hell's going to happen because it's the summer and nobody knows what the fuck's going to really happen until it happens. So everybody's got their think pieces. The one thing that I've learned about college football particularly is Arch Manning, nephew of Peyton and Eli, grandson of Archie Manning. The man has a legacy. His name is Manning. He's in the SEC. Makes sense. He's just in Texas, not Ole Miss and not Tennessee. He stuck it out with Texas. He was committed to them. He stuck it out with Texas, and now he's officially the starting quarterback for the Texan Longhorns this year. He's the guy. Is he ready to be the guy? And that's where the question kicks in. Is he actually ready to be the guy? I don't know. If you ask me, no. No, I don't think he is. I, not because I don't think he's good. Not because I don't think he's the guy. Not that I don't think that he can't really play football or anything like that. I think the SEC had a very down year last year. Even for the SEC standards, it was pretty fucking down. A lot of teams just didn't show the fuck up last year. You had LSU's defense that sucked. Alabama's defense that sucked. Georgia offense sucked. It was a lot of shit that was bad in the SEC last year. I don't think that's going to be the same case this year. I just don't think it's going to be the same case this year. And I think, and I haven't seen Texas' schedule. I don't know who Texas is playing this year. I don't know the games that they actually have. But if they had the same road they had last year, like playing against Alabama and no, playing against Georgia and all these other teams, you played Georgia twice and lost to Georgia twice, that's a problem. That's a massive damn problem. The thing about Texas being in the SEC this time around compared to the last couple of years of the SEC since I was a child is there is no more division. So it is literally just if you have a better conference record, you're going to the championship game. That is the savior of Texas. I don't know if Arch Manning is ready. I do not know. I do not. In the little games we got of him, he didn't really play no fucking body. And I hate to say it like that because I know that's like this thing that people just they use as a shield, and I get it. But this is actually true. It's like he hasn't played any fucking body. I really can't tell you if he's ready. I don't fucking know. Again, I don't know. If I had to pick, if I had to say it truly, I don't know, and I don't think he is. We shall see what this kid looks like when he finally plays real competition. I'm not talking about this fucking all the first game he plays against some type of team that kind of is ranked. No, I'm talking about actual SEC fucking caliber teams. He plays Georgia. He plays Alabama. He plays, you know, I wouldn't even say LSU, but LSU. He plays against Ole Miss. Like he starts playing against real fucking South Carolina should be good this year. He starts playing against real fucking teams. Then we will get a full fledged understanding. Missouri, who's actually a pretty good, decent team. Somewhat. I don't want to say they're really good, but they're okay. But he starts playing against teams that can actually defend and show up. We shall see how this kid really looks. I don't know. Again, I don't know. Nobody does. But is he ready? Who the fuck knows? Who knows? Who knows? I'm going off of what I believe, and what I believe is they ain't really played nobody, bro. And I do not know if you're ready. Everybody look good with the last name until you actually have to play somebody, and then we shall see. Brings me to the NFL. I've been doing this for the last couple weeks. NFL predictions started with the NFC East. No, started with the AFC East. Then the NFC East. Now I'm in the AFC South. Last week I did the Tennessee Titans. This week is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's talk about it. Let's get this out the way. Jacksonville has a new man at the helm, Liam Cohen, former Tampa Bay offensive coordinator, Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive coordinator. How he got the job is the weirdest fucking thing on the planet. I laughed during the off season about this shit because it's so funny. So he technically had the job at first and decided to tell them, go screw yourself. Take my name out of the goddamn drive conversation. I do not want to be a Jacksonville Jaguar head coach. He calls his former employers, which is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and says, "Hey, I'm going to, come back, be the offensive coordinator." And they pay him. They're going to pay him a massive bag for him to be the offensive coordinator again for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Next thing, it's a handshake agreement, and then the next thing they know, he's at the press conference of the Jacksonville Jaguars doing the worst Duval I've ever heard any person say. It's pretty bad, pretty goddamn kind of cringe. I don't want to use that word because everybody now use that fucking word like it's a thing for some apparent reason. But it was pretty goddamn cringe. It was kind of weird. I was like, oh, yeah, I guess, dude. He's not a man at the helm. One thing about this is that this is now the head coach, third head coach in Trevor Lawrence's career. Now, Urban Meyer, we give him a pass for it because he should have never been a head coach. We all know it. They figured it out after year one. But now this is the second head coach, and one of your head coaches was literally a Super Bowl winning head coach in Doug Peterson. And everybody made excuses. and said that he was the reason for why he could never get the real full potential out of you. Whatever, nigga. Whatever. Anyway, this is your third head coach. And this is now the new flashy offensive coordinator that can do all of this shit. And even more so, they traded and got you Travis Hunter, who is supposed to be this game changer, life altering, can play both sides of the field. We shall see. Again, like I say, it is motherfucking football. The NFL, nigga. This ain't college. You can't play 60 goddamn snaps. Good luck with that. Try that. Try that in an actual football game. They gonna break your ass in half. But anyway, we shall see how this looks. Jacksonville, what do I believe? I don't think Trevor Lawrence is the guy. He's never been the guy. But we shall see. We shall see. What do I believe is going to happen with the Jacksonville Jaguars this year? Like I said, I got a lot of faith in Tennessee. I know a lot of people don't think Tennessee is going to be this crazy great team this year. I get it. Like I said last week, I wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee win the damn division because it's the AFC South. It's like playing in the NFC South. Like it's like nigga, 8 games should get you the division. Like nigga, 8 games should get you the division, nigga. The Jaguars, listen, great, flashy offense coordinator that's now a new head coach, great. I do not care. Trevor Lawrence has been either hurt or he just has not performed up to the damn whatever standards y'all have created in y'all heads for this kid. He just isn't the guy. And no matter what the fuck y'all believe, he just isn't the guy. And now you gave him a new flashy toy in Travis Hunter and said, make it work. And they got gifted, and I mean gifted, a freaking #1 receiver in Brian Thomas Jr. last year. One of the best rookie receivers last year. And people ask this question, Brandon, you're an LSU fan. Did you know Brian Thomas Jr. was like that? Yeah, I did. But nobody, it's not like Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. It's more like Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry. Like, yeah, I knew Jarvis Landry was like that. I knew Jarvis Landry could play his ass off. But when you got Odell Beckham on the field, it's kind of like, well, we got to worry about Odell Beckham. So go ahead and do your thing. It kind of was the same thing. It was like, we got Malik Neighbors on the field. We got to worry about him. Like, Brian Thomas, do your thing. But when he finally got his own team, you saw it immediately. Like, oh, he can play. Yeah. Same thing. So they gave you Travis. You got Travis Hunter this year. I still do not understand the trade that you made. I get it if you thought that the Browns, clearly the Browns was not going in that direction. But either way, and the Giants weren't going in that direction either. But you trading all of that to get Travis Hunter, this shit better work. But anyway, you made this trade. You got Travis Hunter. You got Brian Thomas there. Evan Ingram is there still. You got 2 running backs. This shit better work. That's all I can say. This shit better work. Because if it doesn't, it's time to have the conversation. And I thought you should never pay. I felt like you should have waited to give Trevor Lawrence an extension. But it's the freaking Jaguars, and they're stupid. But you paid him. And now this shit better work. Because this is his 3rd head coach. This is the 3rd head coach in Trevor Lawrence's career. He's been a quarterback only for what, 5-6 years? Like I said, the first one was just a terrible job by the owner and the GM at the time. They just hired a goddamn person that just never coached in the NFL. I don't give a shit how good you were in college. You are not going to do that in the NFL, bro. There's more failures head coach wise from college to the NFL than people want to let on. We only bring up the ones that we remember, like Jimmy Johnson or Pete Carroll. There's not that many, bro. Even fuck this dude name that took over for Jimmy Johnson. Even him, and even he couldn't even get it done. Like outside after he won that Super Bowl, does anybody remember what the fuck he was after he won that Super Bowl? Because he really won it with Jimmy Johnson's players. Like nobody really gives him the credit for that. Like so even in that sense, he doesn't even get the credit. So this is the situation at hand. Like, I don't know what the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to look like this season. Nobody does. If I had to predict them, I think they're going to be better than the Colts, and that's not saying a lot. That's really not saying a lot. I talk about the Colts next week, but they'll be better than the Colts. That's really not saying a lot. Um, yeah, I think they'd be better than the Colts, and that's really not saying a lot. If I had to predict the record from 6-11, shit, and that might be a little bit high. I have no faith in Trevor Lawrence being healthy, and that's the thing. I don't think he's going to be healthy. I think injuries are going to catch up to him, and this team. And again, Travis Hunter could be great in hindsight, but when the moment happens and he's got to play both sides of the ball, that's gonna fuck him up. Like that's going to turn. That's gonna have a negative effect on this kid. And no matter what people want to believe, it's going to have a negative effect on this kid because you can't play two sides of the fucking football in football. It's in the NFL. It's damn near impossible. The more rigorous things you have to do offensively and defensively, it doesn't fucking happen. Taysom Hill will be a great linebacker, but he ain't. Taysom Hill looks amazing. He will be a great linebacker, but he ain't. There's a reason for that. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Um, yeah. 5-12, 6-11. Nah, lowest probably 4-13. I have little to no faith in the Jags. They got to come out hot. They got to start off really goddamn hot. Like catch everybody off guard. That's the only way it's gonna work. Outside of that, if you start off sluggish, you're gonna stay sluggish. I just don't see them fixing that anytime soon. Yeah. Like I said, next week be the Colts. Now I'll be talking about something else next week when it comes to this. I'm starting my college preview shows. So next week, Archie Manning was this week. Next week, can Ohio State rebound? Can Ohio State repeat as champion? And will they finally beat Michigan? Because God Almighty knows they can't do it. Ryan Day, Ryan Day can win you a championship. He just can't beat Michigan. Ain't that a bitch? Anyway, I'll see you guys next week. I'll see you guys next week. This has been the Brandon Janeau Show. I bleed sports. Peace.